True Hoop TV. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin having a little squabble on the court. Doc Rivers says it's a good thing, and David Thorpe says...
Agreed. Maybe. So we all know this. In the course of an 82-game season, don't forget the preseason and training camp, they're together a long time. And unlike jobs like most of us have, they're traveling together on the road. They're spending really an inordinate amount of time together in very heightened, dramatic situations. You're going to have personality clashes. I personally think Chris Paul has just had enough. You told me that you have heard stories about that Paul's just kind of a jerk to everyone now. He's not the easiest guy to get along with. And I say, I think he's just had enough. Enough of the nonsense, enough of the stupid stuff going on. He still hasn't made a finals. He's the best point guard of his generation. And he is so, I think, so single-minded and focused. By the way, he's had a phenomenal season. MVP level in many respects. There's a couple of guys that have been just as good and their teams are better, whatever. But I think that he is just going to push and has. And now the question is this, Henry. Can they do what the Celtics did a few years back and put their differences aside for 3 months or so? And my favorite saying, everybody love everybody. We've got to find a way to love each other and get along and ignore the differences until the day after we win the championship. And then we can fight each other all we want.
Because we only have one rule on this team. What is that rule, Twiggy?
ELE.
That's right, ELE. What does ELE stand for?
Everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody. Right there up on the wall. Got that, Monix? Nope. Great. Because this isn't just a basketball team. This is a lifestyle.
But for right now, we have to wash away our differences and come together. I knew Boston had in-season difficulties because of friendships I had with players on the team and connected to the team. And it didn't matter when the postseason started. They came together and played together, and you never knew there were these fissures. I think the Clippers can do the same thing. If they don't, we'll maybe have some ideas as to why. But I think there's no reason why, if they're all single-minded in purpose to win, ignore the differences, love each other, pluses and minuses, and come together and try to win.
So we know like Jordan's Bulls didn't get along so great. It was after their championship, but we know that there was this great story, this Rondo profile by Baxter Holmes, where like Kevin Garnett had to carry Rondo out of the locker room because he was so livid with Coach Rivers. How do we know that they came together? How do we know that they didn't just win while fighting?
Well, it's a fantastic question, and I'm so honored to be able to answer it intelligently. I'm gonna give it my best right now, okay? If you don't care about each other, then you are not going to help the helper on defense. You're not going to call the screens out every time. You're not going to be vocal when you hear a play call on the road and it's super loud and make sure every one of your teammates hears it and it's in the right position and is executing. You don't win in this league without that connection. I feel like that's what's unique about this sport compared to the other major American sports. I'll exclude hockey because I think hockey probably is more like basketball. I just know nothing about it. I know baseball and football is much more compartmentalized, literally and figuratively, compared to basketball. Basketball really is jazz. It is the way all 5 players can make music together instead of what they can do individually as talents. And if you don't have that connection and that, quote, love to win, doesn't mean about loving your team necessarily, loving to win absolutely mandates that you are doing the small things, the small details to take care of your teammate and trust it'll take care of you, or you're not going to win a 7-game series 4 times. That's how we know the Celtics figured it out.
One thing I enjoy about this is that you've borrowed this phrase.
What, everybody love everybody? Right, it's from Semi-Pro. Will Ferrell has this great scene where he's in the top of the front of the bus, and his guys are arguing in the back, and he just turns around and screams, everybody love everybody. But it's something that we use a lot in my training facility facetiously. We're not playing for championships there. My assistant and I always like to remind each other and our players, ELE. We say it all the time and text each other, ELE. Ryan Pannone will be happy to know that I'm mentioning this because he's the one who really brought it to our program. But I love it because it's the heart of the sport. It really is. And we're going to see, Henry, in the postseason. We're going to see opportunities literally quarter by quarter, game by game. Teams that are showing ELE. They're showing their love for each other, whether it's dealing with failure, guy coming to the bench with 4 fouls or missing a bunch of shots or whatever, just staying together. And the teams that don't, more often than not, will lose and not advance, and we'll point that out as well.
ELE.
ELE, baby.